Yo, what's going on, everyone? Kino here. I'm back with another video. I know it's been a minute, but I'm so excited to be doing my market review here with you guys so I can tell you and also show you and just my thought process on the beginning of quarter 2. So I also just want to express how excited I am for quarter 2 here. So I'm really excited. I'm excited in a way of, like, the learning aspect and just coming to the charge every single day, or just being here at the desk and participating. I'm starting to see things that I have not seen before, and I mean in a way where I'm starting to see the market a little bit more differently with just showing up and being consistent with that, right? And that's just with the schedule that I have laid out. But it's like I'm starting to see, and I'm starting to have a different level of confidence, so I'm really looking forward to redoing this 30-day run, and that's going to be in another video too. So yeah, unfortunately I had to start over on a whole new 30-day run, you guys. So but I'm still excited. I'm still looking forward to showing up every single day. I think it's just preparing me for that 30-day run, and just prove to myself that I can manage a 50K account once I buy my first prop firm, and just being consistent with that. Like, I'm just so excited. So yeah, so today we're just going to be going over my market review on oil and gold and what I've been seeing currently in the market. I know it's been pretty crazy for some, as far as, like, with like the war going on, and our current state of our country. So I know it's just been crazy, and I know the trading conditions have also been crazy, but there's still opportunity where you can still profit, right? I think this time around is where you're going to have to really exercise your patience in making sure you secure what you need to secure and not be greedy. That is just like my opinion, but just playing it smart and being patient and making sure that you're able to survive another day with just showing up at the market and still continuing to make those daily deposits, or snagging and grabbing the piece of the pie. So I believe all in all we're gonna make it. So if you play smart, you'll be able to still be consistent and still be able to milk whatever you need to milk from the markets, man. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the market report, and just discussing my thoughts, and then we're going to go ahead and go into the live charts of those previous setups and also some of my trades here. So yeah, let's go ahead and head over. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with oil, as I mentioned. So I had my eye on oil, which was April the 1st. As you can see, we are completely in a bullish trend. All right, so but if we're seeing what price is currently, we have this extreme high, this higher high. Price came in, we pulled back into this range, and then of course we wicked below this low, pushed back up above the 50%. All right, came back down, we have this higher low again, and then we came back up, pushed back down, and we tapped back, maintaining the 50%. On this note, you can actually see here where I stated looking for price to continue to test the previous high, which I wanted to see what price would actually do if it would have came to the all-time high here, but would like to see it continue to the upside. Of course, I was looking for price to continue. So in my approach, I was looking for longs first here, but if we do, I would like to see short-term shorts before continuing up to the upside. And as you can see, with the price pushing back down on this weekly candle, I was definitely looking for some opportunity to do some short-term shorts before seeing price on an overall big picture point push up to the upside here. Okay, so let me go ahead and move on to the other screenshot here. Okay, so as you can see, on April 2nd, we actually sustained at the 50% with this candle here. We wanted to see push up to the upside, and we actually saw price push up to the upside. As you can see, I noted price tapped in, and it did, and we were looking for some longs. As you can see, we tapped in at the 50% and continued up to the upside. Now that's on the 4-hour, of course, but we were currently in this back and forth range, right? We had price up top, price at bottom. All right, so for me, I'm not interested of like trading when price is going back and forth. I like to see clear direction of where price is going to go. And of course, for me, If price broke below the overall low, then I would have expecting for price to continue on bearishly. But if we maintain above the previous higher low without breaking it, then I definitely would have looked for price to still continue making longs or moving up to the upside. So we're going back and forth, as you can see, price top, price bottom, we come back down, we break out of that, which we liquidated it, and price push up, push back down into the 50% and continued, looking to test the previous high. All right, so now I want to go over my entry, because with my entry at this point in time, it did not tap me in. I was anticipating for price to come back to the 50%, retesting that area. As you can see, let's start with the 1 hour here. So this is the 1 hour. Saw price tap in at the 50%, giving it another try here, or retesting the 50%. This was the 9 a.m. candle. As you can see, we have marked here at 9 o'clock, looking for price to tap back in at the 50% with the confluence area of the 50 of the overall move, and then also the 50% of the 9 a.m. range candle. All right, so for that, I was anticipating for that, and price did not tap back in, ended up tapping in at the 70%. I haven't done too much back testing on the 70%, but I'm going to highly start considering that. I think it's time for me to bump up of like making sure that I create like my entries on the 70% and what I look for that. But however, I've been really doing the 50% because it has been working for me. So I think I just need to make a slight adjustment. It's nothing too big, but just make a slight adjustment. I'm just getting better at taking entries at the 70% or anticipating where price is going to tap in at the 70%, and I just need to get better at that. However, I'm still overall satisfied with this trade, even though that price did not tap into the 50%. It actually showed me what I was really anticipating for, which was price pushing up to the upside and taking off, and that's what it did. It tapped into the range that I was anticipating, and then price pushed up. This also lets me know that this is just a part of the game, right? If you're going to be a trader, or I like to say risk managers of managing your accounts, you have to be able to accept the fact this is just a part of the business. And you're going to get triggered into your trades, you're not going to get triggered into your trades, you're going to lose some of your trades, you're not going to lose some of your trades, you're going to win some, you're going to win big, you're going to win small, it doesn't matter. It's just a part of the game. So the quicker you get to realize that this is just the nature of the beast, the quicker you'll be able to move on to still being a growing trader. And it hits a little bit less once you do end up losing, or either it didn't hit your entry. It still would just be neutral at the end of the day. So the sooner you realize that, hey, look, it's a part of the game, it's going to make you even a better trader, because you're just accepting what comes with it. All right, so it's not as hard where you have to harp on it. Okay, but overall, I'm just satisfied with the setup here, because what I was anticipating, and it planned out perfectly. All right, so let me go and take you into the live charts of the oil setup here. As you can see, so I'm going to leave my drawings on, but I'm going to take some of them off here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so let me do this here. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so we're going to start with the weekly. As you can see in the previous screenshots here, we actually have price push up to the upside. We wicked that area and then came down. So the position that I was looking for longs in was in this same area here as the wick, touching in at the 50%. So we have this low here, we have this high, and then price push back down. So within this same candle here, I was looking for price to what? Retrace back up for a counter trend of just looking for longs, and then looking for a short-term short. All right, so in this other case, I was supposed to look for a short-term long instead of short-term short. Okay, I also will go over this too, because I was also looking for price to tap in at this area that I have tapped here, and then pushing back down, right? Given the fact that we had this higher low, price push down, close below it, and then we have just the overall higher low itself being broken, and price massively pushed down to the downside here, closing below that low. So that would have to me, that signaled that we have to come back up in some type of way as in the pullback, which gave me the counter trend trade setup, which I did not get tagged into, as I mentioned over here. Okay, so we have in this area that we were looking for price to tag in the 50%, push up to the upside, and then come back down here. But that was my counter trend trade, right? That was the easy one-to-one, but we didn't tap into the 50%. Let me go ahead and move on to the 1 hour so you can see that a little bit more clearly and see what I'm talking about. So here is the 9 o'clock candle here. We have this 9 o'clock candle, we have this high, we have this low, we have this range. We're looking for price to pull back into the 50%, but we didn't. We actually took in at the 70%, as you can see, and price pushed up to the upside. Look at the drawdown on that, like that, it's like so clean. That would have been a perfect, like right here at the 50, like my entry behind the 50, and then like just here would have been amazing. Like that would have been a beautiful trade here. Absolutely. A 1 to 35 would have been perfect. Or if I would have been scoping this as a long-term trade here, I would have attacked this previous high, and that would have got me exactly at what I was looking for, only risking 60 ticks here. And that's like clean. That is so clean. So what I'm gonna go ahead and get better at is taking some of my entries between the 50% and the 70%, and just anticipating that. I've been doing the 50%, which has definitely been serving me, but I want to be able to get better at anticipating what price could potentially hit between my levels of the 30 and or either 70%, mostly the 70% here. So those retracements here, and then the deep ones being at the 30 here when you're looking for longs. So just anticipating that for that, and I know that has to come with like back testing and, you know, anticipating like those big pullbacks or drops here. Excuse me. So yeah, so it was an easy clean trade here. Would have easily put in 2 contracts on there and I would have been done for the day, honestly. So all in all, I am still satisfied and happy on this trade here. So yes, so I found my entry on the 1 hour time frame, and then I found my POI on the 1 hour time frame, and then my entry here was on the 15-minute. That is my entry here. So what would have been my entry here. So yeah, so this is what we have here. Okay, so that is it for oil. So price didn't tap into there, and then price also didn't tap back into this entry here for me. So yeah, and I was also trying to attack here, but didn't get me in whatsoever. So honestly, price has just been running from me, and I'm not upset about it. I feel very, very neutral. I still feel good about this overall setup. This was like an overall nice setup. So yeah. And one thing I realized too with higher time frames, you just see it so much clearly. It is so clear. As I mentioned, we have this low, we got this low, and then you have this high, and then you have this low here. Price didn't close below this low, and this is just us here. We're like right here. So just seeing that, I'm like, yo, I see it even on the 4 hour a lot more clearer too. So I still am getting, I'm still working on my higher time frames, but like I'm getting better every day. So I'm really happy about that. I just want to just get better. I just want to get better, all in all. Okay, so we got this low here, and then let me see. We have this low, and then we have this low, this candle. We didn't close above that. Yeah, we didn't close below that. So to me, on the 15-minute, all we did was wick, because this is the wick here, and we're just trading back above it. Now we just gotta wait and see what the price is gonna look like overall. But yes, so that is it for oil. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the video for gold, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.